see if we can hold on to that. Whoa, what's going on? Whoa! Hard impact into the wall. Who is that? Rice. Rice with an incredibly hard impact. Who was the one that... Jensen in the Audi, of course. Rice and Jensen yet again. Sparking drama. For the first time in RWC history, a race has been canceled. Many of you know the wreck that happened last race was absolutely terrifying. For many of you who don't know, last race, race number 2 at Daytona International Raceway, there was a horrific crash between BMW and Audi. The drivers Rice and Jensen, respectfully. Rice is okay, however, he was extremely shaken up after that crash. That BMW was extensively damaged to the point to where BMW was not going to be able to make it to race number 3 here in Interlagos, and so the officials have announced they've decided that race number 3 was going to be canceled. We're skipping Interlagos. They deem it unfair to allow everybody else to race and for BMW to not have a shot at continuing their championship run. So with that being said, yes, race number 3 will not exist here in season 3, so we are skipping straight to race number 4 at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. BMW said they'll be able to make it to that race, and Rice will be piloting the BMW again, so we will see you all in Belgium. Hello race fans, welcome back to the RWC series. We are here for race number 4 in Spa-Francorchamps, Belgium. The grid is finally to 100%. BMW has returned with their newly refurbished car after their terrible wreck in race number 2. Now that things are super heated between BMW and Audi, they are still not happy with each other at all. Lots of drama during practice and qualifying. Audi doing a tremendous amount of hot laps. I don't even think they gave their tires time to warm up before they were trying to go for a max push in practice and qualifying. They are trying to stomp BMW into the ground for some reason. Well, I say for some reason, but you know, for anyone who's been around the series know that Audi and, well, really Rice, I wouldn't so much say BMW, but Jensen and Rice, ever since his introduction last season, there's just been something between those two that they just have to always enter a boxing match once they're within each other's proximity. So what is that going to mean for this race? Is that going to translate at all? We still got to see how BMW's car handles after it pretty much needing an entire overhaul from that crash in race number 2. So it's going to be an interesting one. We'll see you all on race day. The green flag is out here in Belgium as the Belgium GT3 Grand Prix is underway, and White's Garage looking very insightful there on the inside, going into turn 1 side by side with Barth as the rest of the grid makes their way down after turn 1, looking to tidy up now as everyone goes single file, looking much cleaner now. That first turn 1, everybody was very aggressive, looking for an opportunistic move on one another. Wyatt's Garage being one of them, getting way up the grid with his turn 1 move. We'll see if he'll be able to stay up there, as Ramos and Barth looking to duke it out going into the chicanes here. We'll see if they give each other enough room. No, they do not. He bumps into Ramos a little bit, and Barth himself goes outside. He will lose that position. Now making more contact with Davi. A bunch of contact going around for everybody. It seems like after race number 2 in Daytona, it seems like everybody just kind of has their elbows out now after seeing what happened to Rice, the driver for BMW, who is racing here today, as Davi makes a beautiful move on the inside. He gets past Barth. But yes, everyone saw what happened to Rice in the BMW car. It was an absolutely disastrous wreck, excuse me. But now it seems that everybody is much more defensive of each other after seeing that terrible crash. And as I mentioned, Rice is racing today, but unfortunately qualified all the way at the bottom of the grid. Although it seems like he got past Gills, so he will currently be in 19th place. But as I mentioned in qualifying, though, he did qualify last. So it seems BMW having a rough restart here after having to rebuild that car in particular. Maybe not having all the settings correct for Rice, so it seems Kudos is going to be the one having to carry BMW here at this part of the season, which is very unfortunate considering how strong of a start BMW had going into this season. Project G currently in the lead, followed by Hidalgo Isidro closing out the podium. Batter making a move over Besnard and fairly just sniffing his rear bumper. She looks to want to go for a move going into turn 1, but it's actually Besnard who goes for the move over Batter, and he will complete it. So Besnard moving up a position, fairly now sniffing the rear bumper of Batter. We'll see if she makes a move on him here soon. Fairly looking absolutely dangerous. Not sure if they made contact there or if she scraped the floor of that Lamborghini going up the Redalion. Fairly looking on the inside of Batter. We'll see if she goes for it. She does. She's on the corner going into the braking zone. Will she hold on to it? She will. They're side by side, her and Batter. They don't make contact. Very beautiful driving by the both of them, giving each other room. Fairly will complete the move. Very well done. Very job well done by Fairly, getting that position not only safely but respectfully, if you will, for Batter. More contact between Davi and Barth. They are not enjoying each other's company so far during this race. Goodness gracious. Alright, we are now entering the halfway mark of this race, and Isidro is currently coming under attack from Fairly, who is looking absolutely hungry for her first victory with Lamborghini. Fairly has been on an absolutely electric drive so far this race. Isidro, we will see how well you defend first place from such a hungry driver behind you. This is going to be a very incredible battle to watch. I will actually try not to commentate too much over this lap. Let's just have a look at this incredible battle. Oh no, and Fairly makes a huge mistake. Isidro will retake his position. No, that was looking to be a phenomenal battle, but Fairly making a huge miscalculation, and now it seems that she's having trouble with traction after having gone through the gravel with an unfortunate turn of events. Oh man. Still half the race to go, but still very unfortunate for her. She could have been in the lead the rest of this race, but now she's going to have to fight Isidro again to gain that first place spot. Gills, her teammate, much further down the grid order, which is definitely not great for Lamborghini. Again, another team with a very strong start this season thanks to Fairly. However, Gills just not really being the same Gills of, oh, what do we have here? Rice just sitting in the middle of the track. What's going on here? Oh no. Okay, so Rice getting into another accident. However, there's no one around him, so I'm not exactly sure. He just loses the rear end and heads right into the barrier. That is extremely unfortunate. Whoa, Casanova. Wow, brilliant job for Casanova. Great job avoiding Rice just coming back across the racetrack. But that kind of doesn't make a lot of sense on Rice's behalf. I mean, he's not really one to make such mistakes like that. So possibly maybe a bad tire call. Perhaps his tire, he was still on old tires, or maybe like a suspension issue. I'm not really sure what happens. He just kind of goes on the rumble strip, which isn't uncommon. And he just loses it and just smashes right into the barrier. Rice just having a hard time with barriers so far this season, which is extremely unfortunate. I don't know what BMW is going to do, but this is certainly not looking good for them. I mean, again, Rice, you know, literally top of the grid for the first 2 seasons, and now it's looking like he's going to be at the complete bottom of the grid this season, which is, I'm sure that does not make him feel good. And to make him feel worse, here comes his rival that put him in the wall in race number 2, driving slowly by him. Oh boy, the drama continues. You're looking good. You're looking good. You could possibly go for the move here after turn 1. Left, on your left, on your left. Good. To your left, to your left, to your left. You have P1. I repeat, you have P1. Push, push, push. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an incredible race, but it all comes down to this. Just 1 lap to go, and Project G is going into the pits. Porsche is bringing him in, as well as Ramos with Renault, so they will literally be handing fairly first place with 1 lap to go. What are they doing? Obviously, this is just a gift on a silver platter for Fairley and Lamborghini, who were running 3rd, so they were already having a fantastic race. But now she's in first with clear roads in front of her. Isidro, the next closest driver, he will move up to 2nd. However, the gap is just ginormous between them. Wow, Porsche going for a tire change, so it must have been a really, really poor strategy for them to actually need tires as well. I was thinking at the very least maybe fuel, but it seems Porsche had half of their strategy all kinds of messed up. Batter moving up, however, into 3rd position, so if Batter finishes there, that will be his first podium with Porsche, his new team. Yeah, all the order is getting all mixed up now with multiple drivers coming out of the pits. Davi being one of them. He will lose out on his top 10 as Gao just barely squeezes past him. So that's very unfortunate for Davi, the lone Nissan driver this season. He's going to have to put in a lot of work if Nissan is even going to consider keeping him for next season. Or excuse me, if Nissan even stays. Wyatt's Garage having a really big fall from grace this race. Chevy still struggling with that C8 race car, trying to get promising results from it. Definitely not a question of Wyatt's Garage's skill, however, as we've seen time and time again, that car is just absolutely terrible with fuel consumption, which seems to be its biggest Achilles heel. Switching to Fairley, however, and she's pretty much got this race in the bag. The gap between her and Isidro is just too large for Isidro, even a driver as good of a caliber as him, to close in such a short amount of time. So Fairley, congratulations. This will be her first victory with Lamborghini as their number 2 driver. What a way to start the season. You know, it is still very early, so we'll see what Fairley has up her sleeve for the rest of this season. But she will be your winner of the Belgian GT3 Grand Prix. Congratulations, Fairley and Lamborghini, for a very, very, very well done. Excuse me. Second place will go to Isidro and Team Mercedes, however, which are their current biggest rival in terms of points. So they are going to have to be careful. Batter with his first podium with Team Porsche. The driver who was making miracles with Genesis is now making miracles for Porsche. Hidalgo will finish fourth. Project G, will close out the top 5. As the rest of the field comes through here, you can see their order. Gao will close out the top 10. He will keep Davi out of the points, unfortunately. Jensen will finish all the way down in 15th, so clearly Audi having some issues after their altercation in race number 2 as well. Ford finishing right behind the other. And Casanova, who was looking to have a very promising race today, unfortunately will finish at the bottom of the grid, as well as Wyatt's Garage and Chevy. So now we will go to your points, your driver points first, and then we will switch to your constructors points in just a few minutes. We hope y'all enjoyed this race. If y'all did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this very dramatic season. We hope to see you at the next race. Y'all have a good one. Goodbye.